Ooh, and we're live. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to Endwalker. Final Fantasy's journey through... Sorin's journey through Final Fantasy XIV. My brain is... I was a little distracted for a moment there before starting the stream and checking... Because I've been losing some frames before we started streaming again, so I found a window I didn't notice before in OBS that kind of tells me, it gives me a little bit more information, which is telling me that I'm so far losing frames to rendering lag, which I think hopefully means it's not due to connection. And maybe there's a possibility it's because of the graphical update in Final Fantasy is occasionally a little too much for OBS to keep up with my current GPU. Oh, hello there, Mooney. Welcome to the stream. So I've tried toggling a couple of options in Final Fantasy to see if I can reduce that a little bit. Otherwise, I think I have to. I was quickly checking forums during the opening, and someone said that just running OBS in admin mode can give it a higher priority for your CPU to help make sure that it's getting priority use of your CPU. But I haven't dropped any frames since starting, so hopefully no problems. So last time we were continuing getting the grand tour of Elpis, following Emet-Selch and Hydaelyn as they observed Hermes' work. We learned a little bit more about Best Knock on Wood. I mean, one, whenever anyone says knock on wood, I just remember the door monster sketch. It's kind of like, that's not wood. That's MDF. That's drywall. That's resin. That's a composite. I do not have any wood easily accessible in my room, I don't think. But yeah, I at least have kind of identified a couple of issues, and I kind of have a solution for them. So even if things do go badly, I'm not as confused as I was. Yeah, we also we were learning a little bit about Dynamis and Meteion's origin, and how she has sisters who have been sent out to the stars to look for life. And then we continued on with Emet-Selch and Hydaelyn and met Venat, who is now investigating with us after meeting her led to us Sorin having to explain the whole story to Emet-Selch and Hydaelyn, who Emet-Selch in particular didn't take too well to it. And so we need to get to one of the smaller islands to continue our investigation, which is why we've just finished fighting Venat, and Arto has finally agreed to let us ride him to help fly over to the island. So let's get back to it. Let us move over to the edge before mounting, shall we? That will allow Argos to catch the currents rising up from below, and give us a smooth ride over to the isle. Very happy all of a sudden. Right. There she is. Argos, it's a... guess this is a first time for you. Let's go. That's a... even see the ground below. Isn't this pleasant? Argos certainly thinks so. Been to fine islands before. Now, what was the name of that tree? Noe something. Don't speak so fast, Venat. Noe Topheron. Quite a strange specimen, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen trees like that before. It reminded me of the ones in Lakeland on the first. Brace yourself for the landing. I wouldn't want you tumbling off at the last moment. I'll be careful. I don't see anything out of the usual.
Quite a small place, lacking even the most basic equipment.
So, maybe I should have asked before.
The present may yield no clues, but we may yet try perusing the past. Have you done this before?
In a way, but it's not something I can control. It just kind of happens.
So you cannot control the power freely. Worry not. I shall assist you.
That every echo is something.
Come and stand before me.
Can be controlled?
There are two ways to see the past. The first entails peering through the walls of the soul in the moment a subject is recalling a memory.
Sounds like what I'm familiar with.
The second requires no subject, and is instead a process of piecing together an event from ripples left in the ambient ether. As memories are etched upon the ether of the soul, so too are they etched upon the ether of the world. In this way can history be preserved. Such memories are given to fading, however, and can prove challenging to visit. But come, let us try. Close your eyes.
Right. I'm trying. This is... the echo?
All units fully functional and proceeding on course towards their respective stars.
Medium? She definitely didn't talk like that before.
Estimated time to completion of survey is 108 cycles. End of status report. Severing connection with shared consciousness. Did you hear that, Hermes? All is well.
Shared consciousness? Is that how she communicates with her sisters?
Yes. Good tidings at long last. Every step of the way, I've been reminded how little we understand creation. How the universe defies imagination.
But soon we won't need to speculate. We'll know the answers. What others live for.
Indeed. And we'll owe it all to you and your sisters.
I wonder what answers we will get.
Whatever intelligent beings that exist out there are bound to be vastly different from us. Diverse in form and culture. Possessed of unique ways of thinking. Their conception of life and its purpose will be no exception. Completely and utterly unlike ours.
Utterly unlike... How?
I have no idea. Yet whatever answers we receive, I will not dismiss them out of hand. No. I will think earnestly on them all, and I will share them with our people, that together we may contemplate our own existence. Perhaps then our star will become a better place. Not only for man, but for all life. Meteion, though I gave you wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet. Learn to walk and run and so much more. And when you return, older and wiser, we will have a celebration to mark your homecoming and coming of age both.
Will there be apples? Covered in syrup?
And how are you supposed to eat them? Rather than food, perhaps a flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower.
Hermes says, "Look, is that the trait the Elizons got from the ancients?" That was...
So, what is your opinion?
I really don't see how Hermes could be the kind of person who would ever wish for the final days.
I'm inclined to agree. As we had suspected, the two are somehow involved. Yet 'tis difficult to believe that they would deliberately seek to end all life.
So, what happened?
In light of this, I propose that we reveal your tale to Hermes himself.
That would mean telling him about Van Daniel.
If he does not wish for the final days, as we believe, he may well join us in pursuing a solution.
Right. That's... Right. You wouldn't
Then
want
it
to
is
become someone like
settled.
that.
Let us seek out our friend with all swiftness. 'Twould not do to let such a pure soul be blackened by tragedy.
Alright, just checking over. We're still okay for frames. Nothing happening so far. There are any number of places where Hermes might be in Elvis. Right, so where to begin? But we could do worse than to look in Hyperborea, the largest facility. It stands in Why do the ancients need to name stuff like this? Ephisoleticus Boreas, the Northern Isle. I wonder, Sorin, for an institution which claims to studiously research every species destined for release into the world, did you not question how they find room for them all on so few islands? I kind of assumed there were more that I couldn't see. This is all of Elvis? The answer lies within Catesis itself. I touched upon the practice before back at the archives, where a vast area is stitched together out of multiple conceptual spaces. The same holds true for the interior of this facility. in its magically constructed environs. 'Tis there, within those sprawling habitats, that the chief overseer and most of Elpis' observers conduct the bulk of their work. Come, the simplest route is via the naos north of Poitanoikos. Huh. I really thought there were just other islands. This was just maybe some kind of central hub of Elpis. But it's all indoors. Guess I'll understand better when I see it. This is Poitanoikos, so Venat said north of here. That's beef, right? That looks like another teleporter. It's not here, so I guess I figured this out myself. Motes of light yet hang in the air, suggesting the device was but recently activated. It was just like this. I guess this is the right place. Good. Naos acknowledged you as my guest. You should now have the authority to use it as you wish. As for the way to Kittis' Hyperborea, we follow this path, then turn left at the crossroads. That, I guess, is that huge structure. No sign of anyone immediately here. Guess we're looking inside then? But if you say it's as big inside as you say it is, how do we find Hermes? Here we are, the grandest research facility in Elpis. We should head inside and ask after Hermes' whereabouts. Right. Hermes is another facility, as we have just discovered. Hydaelyn, Emmet Selk. Hello. Furthermore, we've confirmed that his studies into Dynamis, as well as his creation of Meteion, were entirely private pursuits. No one else we spoke of appeared to possess the chief's depth of knowledge on the subject, and neither did we hear any tales of stolen research. Which means that if Hermes himself harbors no desire to bring down an apocalypse, then he might be recruited to help prevent one. Or so saith the illustrious Emmet Selk. Emmet Selk to the same thought. According to your story, the 14 divined a connection between the celestial currents and the final days, but were never able to pinpoint the root cause of the calamity. Our people's greatest minds, not to mention Hydaelyn's sharp eyes, committed to the pursuit of a solution. Such an outcome seems inconceivable. The only possible explanation is if the nature of the catalyst was so inexplicable that even we failed to perceive it. What better fits that description than the invisible, intangible Dynamis? Which in turn leads us to our next question. How did Hermes, in his role as Hydaelyn, not recognize the subject of his own research? We must assume that either he knew and was unable to help, or that he was otherwise prevented from identifying the cause in the first place. At this juncture, all we can do is speculate. To be clear, the Convocation does not tolerate acts of deception or malice. We are practiced at perceiving truth, and would have known that Hydaelyn lied to us. Hermes has no conscious wish for the world to end. Of that I am certain. Even Emet and Hydaelyn agree. I have to admit, I was convinced when he left that he didn't believe me. It seems there's more to this tale after all. Right. We conducted an investigation of our own, you see. I find it kind of funny that Emmett Silk is kind of... I imagine him sighing and just kind of like, am I really on the same wavelength as this lot? How comforting. We seem to have reached the exact same conclusion. I see no reason to delay further. It is time we brought Hermes into the fold, as it were. Maybe I should just be quiet here. This does not mean I believe your ridiculous story, but as Emmett Selk, I have a duty to examine any potential threat to our existence, no matter how ludicrous or personally offensive I may find it. This Hydaelyn's little, like, knowing chuckle in the back. So, do we know where he might be? I think the time for leisurely exploration is past. If I might have a moment to adjust my vision. Right, you could just see him. There he is. On to the next aisle over. Meteion is with him. Hermes appears to be in the midst of an observational study, but I suggest we hurry over before they venture elsewhere. Head straight down the path, and we can teleport to Mesopus Euros from the device at the bottom of the slope. Right. Have our teleporter. Guessing this one. I didn't see the other heavens again. Oh, I hope I'm in the right place. All here? Here, close by, within the Hungering Gardens. I'd have to be the circular enclosure you see just up ahead. Hungering Gardens. Well then, Sorin, make yourself useful and bring Hermes out here to us. If I were to go, he would assume I was only there to press him on the Hydaelyn matter. Of all us present, you stand the best chance of convincing him to put aside his work for the moment. But the creations in there are not exactly... Then again, perhaps Sorin can handle them. He did survive a bout with Venat, after all. Off you go to find Hermes, but do be prepared to come to blows with the garden's denizens. Right. Off I go. think I'll do my best to avoid the wildlife. I guess a little too late for that. Careful. So, that smell, they're definitely connected to Morgans. Yep. Lots of mouths on the Morble Marquee. Itself sent me on just as punishment for offending him. Right, Hermes. Where would be? Again. It's not what they call it, Hungry Garden now. Where are you, Hermes? Wrong place again. Maybe if Hydaelyn said I could protect myself, so I assume this is okay. Is that... There they are. Hermes? Sorin, what are you doing here? I thought you were keeping Hydaelyn and Meteion company. About that, there's something we want to talk to you about. And it's not about your decision on becoming Van Daniel. An important matter. And unrelated to my decision on Van Daniel, you say? Then, yes, I will come. As soon as my work here is finished. It will not be long, I promise, but you should really wait outside the garden with the others. This is no place for idle exploration. I think I might take you up on that. Much interest in sticking around this smell for too long. It's a little bit fresher. I found him. You spoke of Hermes then. And we were briefly entangled with the denizens of the Hungry Gardens as well, I see. And we were briefly entangled with the denizens of the Hungry Gardens as well, I see. Or should I say smell? Yeah. I cannot speak for certain convocation members, but I, for one, am impressed with your fortitude. Well done indeed. Now that you've convinced Hermes to confer with us, let us pray that things will soon take a turn for the better. For as fascinating as it would be to meet the Emet who would recreate Amaroth in the depths of the ocean, I think it best for all concerned if such tragic events never came to pass. Be it in our future or your past, assuming yours is not truly written in stone. Naive hope that that is. Hermes said he would not be long, yes? We shall wait here until he emerges. There they are.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. I understand there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Aye. A matter of the utmost gravity. If one can suspend disbelief. Go on then. Tell him what you told us. Who you are, and why you came.
Right. This is going to sound...
The final days.
The phenomena observed during these star-encompassing calamities is likely the product of a Dynamis reaction, and none is more versed in the applications of this energy than you, Hermes. I must stress that we do not believe you would desire such destruction. We come not to lodge accusations, but to beg your wisdom. And so, distressing though the exercise may be, I ask that you share with us your opinion on the matter, on the assumption that our visitor's tale is true.
Even you, Venat. As you say, the phenomena observed in the two calamities may both be attributed to Dynamis. Of note is the difference in its effect. In the first final days, it warped creation magics. In the second, it warped the people themselves. The key variable, I suspect, is the etheric density of the men of each age.
Right.
As you know, ether, in essence, negates Dynamis. Harboring high concentrations of ether, we ancients cannot readily manipulate Dynamis, nor be manipulated by it. Therefore, rather than ourselves, the calamity affected our magics. In contrast, having been sundered, the people of the future are composed of but a fraction of our ether. Thus are they susceptible to the influence of Dynamis and its transformative potential. But that would explain only the mechanism, not the cause. Though perhaps...
What is it? Even should it be a hypothesis, we would hear it.
Dynamis is an energy put in motion by feelings. Feelings for which there must first exist a source. The source to which the victims must be attuned. One that harbors the self-same negative emotions. Elsewise it could not be the agent of such extreme change.
You mean... the... despair people feel?
So it wasn't the stagnation of the celestial currents. Someone, or something, is instigating the star's demise.
So, we've a villain on our hands after all. Any idea who or what it could be?
The celestial currents comprise the outermost layer of the star's ether, encasing it like a protective sphere. According to your tale, it was where the currents were weakest that the phenomena first manifested. If the inciting factor came from without Aetheris, then its effects would first be seen in those locations.
Without? You mean from somewhere? Wait, it couldn't be the moon because the moon didn't exist back in this time. It came from somewhere else? Another star?
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Meteion?
Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm.
Sisters.
I wish only to hear your words, share your feelings, know your thoughts. May we please be friends?
Meteion. What is it?
Executing scheduled task, suspending individual self and connecting to shared consciousness.
It's like how she was.
Connection established. Commencing status report.
Status report. What is? This.
It hurts, it hurts!
What is?
It hurts! So hot, so cold, so sad. I don't understand. Make it stop. Please, make it stop.
Steady, Meteion. Steady.
So scared, so lonely. The pain, it's too much. Why? Why do we? They hurt. Hate. This is wrong. All wrong.
She's gone? But how?
She has altered her etheric density in order to blend in with her surroundings, an ability for avoiding confrontation.
Most effective. Frustratingly so. I can't see her either. Not even a trace.
Stay away. Please. This is wrong. My mistake. So please.
Meteion's.
Are you all right?
I don't think I am. Meteion was.
In your mind? No. We only heard her speak the instant before she vanished.
You didn't feel anything? Any of that?
Of course. When communicating without words, Meteion also employs Dynamis. That will explain why you were able to hear her, when we could not.
She's not doing okay. Hermes.
Then you are our best chance of finding her. Follow her voice and try to track her down.
Right.
Hindered though we may be, let us split up and search as well.
Meteion. Where are you? Hello? this. It seeps into my mind. Our voices reporting. No, no. Hermes mustn't hear them. I have to run. To hide. No. Stay further away. What? Is it? Sisters. Mean something? Could they possibly have found it because are they be feeling like that? Nothing. Medium. Greetings. Salutations. Meteion? Are you okay? Commencing report. Oh no, we can't tell them that. We must run out. Run far away. Meteion. It is her report. Please, don't follow me. Good old hide and seek. Good might not be an appropriate term, but this way. Let's see. Where are you? Further? Where the others are, but I don't have time to make reports. How? How did we come to this? Is this the reason we traveled to the stars? Why we sought out other life forms? Is this it? Is this the answer? No, it cannot be. It cannot be. I want to know what you found. Emotion I felt before was... Does someone have to see to be that strong? Here. text again? Which this direction? Where are you? Compiling report for dissemination to Hermes and all people of Epirus. Meteion! Please, don't run away. Processing expedition data. Preparing profiles on intelligent civilizations. Formulating answers to the question. Finalizing report. Sorin, mustn't listen. Meteion. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Everyone... I've found her a couple of times, but she just keeps running. Panicked and confused, to make it all the more difficult to predict her movements. Hermes, what do you make of this situation? The Meteion are linked to a single mind, a shared consciousness which connects them across any distance. I suspect something has happened which disrupted its usual harmony. How might we access this shared consciousness of theirs? Much as you would approach any sentient being. Directly. In the Meteia's case, that means speaking to any incarnation within physical reach. So, unless we can track down the Meteion we just lost, we have no means to communicate with them. No way of knowing what befell her sisters. No way to provide directions or guidance. Then we had best set our musings aside and concentrate on how we might find her. Right. I can keep listening. Hermes? Oh, my dear Meteion. What did you witness out there that frightened you so? Why do you seek to keep it from us? How terrible could it possibly be? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Meteion renders herself invisible by matching her etheric density to that of her surroundings, does she not? If so, could we not then disrupt her concealment with a surfeit of ether? That's how Emmet Selk solidified your presence when we met you. Don't be absurd. You can hardly channel ether to a recipient whose whereabouts are hidden from me. Which is why we must all work together. Sorin will continue to search in the same manner as before, but this time with you in tow. Once he ascertains Meteion's likely location, you proceed to reveal our wayward familiar with a swift ethereal downpour. Very clever. Very clever. And thankfully, she has made herself easier to capture by fleeing towards Leave. Assuming she is made visible, it should prove no great feat to herd her into a corner. And then we have our plan. Sorin and Emmet Selk will be our tracker and trapper, respectively, while we others predict and obstruct Meteion's avenues of escape. Emmet Selk and I will keep an eye on each other's ether and help coordinate our efforts. Let us be about it. Right. That's the plan. Well, it seems we are partners for the time being. Let us return to where we last saw Meteion. Pick up the trail from there. I will keep myself in a state of preparedness, ready to rain down ether at a moment's notice, meaning it falls to you to keep the way clear. Right. I'll do my best. Meteion. Why can't I fly? Are my functions being restricted? Hide. Yes. I'll just have to hide then. Where no one can find me. She's this way. She went into the lake. As if this wasn't tiresome enough. At least that open expanse should make her easier to find. We won't lose her this time. I don't see any sign of her. I should be able to reach the bottom of this drop by climbing down the rocks at the water's edge. Don't even think of dragging me over the falls. Final days or no, if I end up drenched from head to toe, I swear I will feed you to a remora. Right. Down the rocks then. I do want. Did Sari? I don't know if you even looked at the dialogue with Sari, but did she just take him right over the waterfall? I don't see her anywhere. She was always showing herself to me. Oh yeah, she's asked him yet. I thought she would. Where are you? Not here. I'm not here. Please. Now it's Elk. She's over there. By that rock, is she? Very well. What? Why can't I hide? Meteion, please. You don't need to run from us. Sorin, what are you saying? Everything is so fake. I'm sorry. I'm not strong enough. Stay away, I'm begging you. Don't make me say it. I'll break him. His poor, fragile heart. Meteion. She couldn't hear me? That cell increase in her ether must have made it harder for her to hear Dynamis. Now we have a chance. Once the others are in position, the two of us can herd her into their midst. Right. Guess there's nothing for it but to just catch her. You. Go away. I don't see. There. I see her. The dialogue from the teleporter. I think it's something like you ask if she could have used the teleporter, and then itself reports that it's like locked down or restricted or something. And I believe I remember the reason why. Because I do believe that is a teleporter you use later. tried going back to the other island? This island's a dead end, maybe. Oh, there she is! On the bridge! The walkway.
Aha! Give chase. We shall herd her into the shelter.
Right. Meteion, please. She's running the right way.
Please, Meteion. We must speak.
I'm sorry, Hermes. I'm so sorry.
Meteion.
If someone can hear these words, then please... Please protect them. Protect them all.
From...
Individual self-suspended. Connection with shared consciousness stable. Our survey is complete. We shall now report our findings. All units safely arrived at their respective destinations. Seeking answers to Hermes' question, we attempted to make contact with the intelligent denizens of each star. Results are as follows, in order of numerical code. Enna. Traces of civilization found. Structures believed to have served as domiciles. No extant life forms detected.
Stop.
Dio. Ruined remnants of buildings scattered across star, surface of which is encased in ice. Presence of life could not be verified. Tria. Evidence of large population centers, akin to cities recovered. No extant life forms found, only their lingering essence. Tessera. Edifices surmised to be abandoned residences found. No extant life forms detected. Deadly plague or extreme environmental degradation likely to have led to mass extinction.
They are all... dead.
Octo. Star found in state of violent conflict. Contact successfully made with inhabitants, but deployment of weapons of mass destruction resulted in total annihilation of local population shortly thereafter. Inea. Star is a barren desert. No identifiable flora found. Bones of living beings resembling men discovered beneath sands, but determination regarding their intelligence inconclusive.
Remind me, Hermes, what exactly was the question you entrusted to Meteion?
It was...
I tasked her with asking what others live for. What gives their lives meaning.
But what, Chief?
Did you consider what may happen if the premise of the question is flawed? To be able to answer it, one must be living and desire to continue doing so. But if Meteion finds no living beings in the course of her journey, or none who desire to live, what then? What answers would she derive from their silence?
Meteion, enough! Suspend your mission, and return hither at once.
Decapente. Local civilization once flourished under auspices of higher power. Said power later laid waste to civilization in fit of rage. Upon revealing this to me, entity elected to self-terminate in lieu of providing answer to question. No other intelligent life forms found.
Turning a deaf ear, are we? We are taking Meteion back to Amarot. As I understand, we will need her if we are to bring back all of her sisters.
Yes. Meteion.
So. Someone who hears people's emotions.
It isn't right, is it? It isn't right to turn away from the answer. Even if the answer is pain. Even if we aberrations must scream ourselves hoarse to be heard.
Hermes is...
Aye. Whatever answers we find, I will not dismiss them out of hand. These words I said to you, and I will hold myself to them.
Hermes? Hermes? That's a transformation.
What is the meaning of this?
You cannot take Meteion, not until she has finished her report. All else must wait.
What else does he need to hear? Did I...
You fool!
We have to go after them, right? Why, Hermes? Why could you not leave well enough alone? Will these answers assuage the pain you feel when a creation is returned to Aether? You never cast your accursed question to the distant stars. You may have one day learned to be at peace upon this one. We have to do something. Hermes is headed to Caduceus. Considering the expansive dimensions of the place, even we may have a difficult time locating his Aether. All I can say is that he entered from the rooftop, and likely arrived at the uppermost point in the facility. So, do we pursue him? Of course we pursue him. No matter what Hermes might be thinking, Meteion is a potential threat that needs to be brought under our control. Convocation's duty is to safeguard this star takes precedent over any personal stake in the matter. Venat? Sorin? It is clear we stand on a precipice. We have yet to determine beyond a shadow of a doubt that Meteion's is the hand which tips us over the edge. Nevertheless, if we are to learn the truth of the final days, we must give chase. And even if neither Hermes nor Meteion is ultimately responsible, we cannot leave them to suffer this torment alone. I agree. Have to help. Agreed on all accounts. To Catissa's Hyperborea we go. How are you supposed to pronounce the KT? Yeah. Hermes. I respect Hermes' optimism in trusting that Meteion would find a good answer. Why are there so many people here? No one was here before. What have we here? Excuse me. Has something happened inside Catissa's? Mistress Venat, I'm so glad you're here. No one knows what prompted it, but the alarm was sounded, and Catissa's put into a state of alert. The procedure dictated that we evacuate immediately, and we have yet to investigate further. This is Hermes' doing, obviously. And what does this state of alert entail exactly? A field of dampening magic is draped over the entire facility, usually in response to escaped entities and the like. Catissa's scholars and observers are unaffected, but everything and everyone else is weakened to a fraction of their usual capabilities. Then consider us forewarned. We do, however, have urgent business with Chief Hermes, and must enter the premises regardless. That said, if Hermes is willing to enact such measures, I wonder what other obstacles he has seen fit to drop in our path. With that enfeebling spell in place, we're not like to be at our fighting best. And I was hardly an effective combatant to begin with. Little to offer beyond my ethereal vision. And you will put that talent of yours to good use. You were fairly skilled at spotting weaknesses, if I recall. Fairly skilled? Now you've gone and raised everyone's expectations. You all need only make the most of your strengths, and I will fill in the gaps as required. I was once Azam, after all. It was my job to rise to the occasion, be that as defender, aggressor, or healer. Feel better about my lack of prowess already. And you, Emetzel, can impress us with your arcane mastery. You lob potent spells as easily as breathing. You can also channel that power in a protective manner if you so choose, yes? Well, yes, should the situation call for it. Excellent. That should cover us on all fronts. Your tale led us here, Sorin, so it is only right that you lead us now. No matter what lies ahead, we will win through to Hermes and Meteion. And then we will face the future together. Right. This is Hyperborea, now accessible. I think it was. apologize for ditching the robes, but needs must. Let's go. Frames there. That concerns me. This is... no time to get distracted.
Please, turn back, else I might be forced to.
Seems he is determined to protect Meteion. Aye. Right clever this is going to be. Excuse me. Oh, I don't have... You think MSLB used to be... I think Emmett Selk is one of those people who just likes complaining. Right. Really wish I had time to look around.
I see you opening.
Have a taste.
But this dungeon fairly recent. I think it was like the last day I was on, just grinding with Sorin. No, not grinding with Sorin. Grinding on with my main character for experience. Did I got this? Yeah, it was while I was leveling. It was my last leveling roulette as Viper.
Be gone!
This one death test if you were saved.
Have at you.
Oh. I'm trying to remember if I think I did fairly well with this one. I don't know if I've ever healed in it though. I do have to. I know I've tanked the DPS. to be fair.
I'm not entirely useless.
What? Something's coming. Where would I be if it wasn't for the echo?
Be gone!
I do like that Atonement is now a combo rather than just perform the same attack 3 times in a row.
Be gone!
Oh, 2 NPCs between Kiryu and Majima. Now, is that a deliberate reference or an accidental reference? Oh, right. This is... It's just the way Emmett, Selk, and Hydaelyn both teleport.
I'm not entirely useless.
Out of my way!
I didn't see. No, let me get my critical console. It's gonna be here. So I just read into that, like, just like, people there, it's like, this is a promising concept.
Have at you!
I'm not entirely useless.
Stand firm.
Never.
Mine is the ether!
Of course, it'll be Emmett Selk stealing the LB. Just a little more. Do your... Do your thing one last time. Here we go. Hydaelyn said Hermes came in at the top of the facility, right? Yes, that's where we have to get to. I need to. I suppose there's not really. With the way I'm planning for things at the moment, there's not too much point in me leveling trusts up. There.
Stay away!
Get out. What has been forgotten to be mentioned?
Out
Oh,
of my way!
In what way looking bad? In all the fireworks. Oh, the fireworks. Yeah, you did seem quite annoyed by that during your stream last night. He's throwing his creations out like this. I read this report of Meteons must really be important.
I see you opening.
Have a taste.
Sometimes forget how much slower it can be.
I see you opening.
Going through with NPCs rather than players. Southern California area is the best. Yeah. It's one of the things I do really like about living out in the country is that the air is nice. Why did... That was some lag there that I only just then got. The MP from Riot Blade.
Stand firm.
Get it. They're lovely for this. He may have his flaws, but he can't fault his managerial prowess. And just... Seriously? You want to discuss his candidacy now? choking when you're breathing. And you're so used to a bad thing you can't manage the good. I think that it probably should be making sure I get the loot from here because it's going to be useful. Especially as I'm going to be a little more restricted in my off-stream grinding from now on. Right. Let's see what this is. If I recall correctly, this one's mechanics are fairly simple. It's like negating kind of treatment. Sure. If that's what
Have a taste.
does it for you. I am perfectly happy without smog.
I'm not entirely useless.
If for this, I like you, but you're.
I see.
We get
you
it.
opening.
You're not useless. Repeating yourself as often as you feel the need to is. What you prefer to live in the outskirts is. Yeah, I kind of. I wouldn't mind living a little closer to civilization than I do.
Have a taste.
Yeah, lots of things within walking distance. Yeah, I'd be kind of similar. I like living out in the country, though I wouldn't mind living a little closer to amenities. There are definitely times where it is... I feel the inconvenience of living where I do. But I do think if I had to choose one or the other, I'd choose the country. Have everyone. What about that? Now we're close to this. Oh. I mean, I live a little closer to the city. I suppose the town. I don't need to be close to the city.
My way.
It's just the fact it's even the nearest convenience store is like an hour's walk away.
Now, it's rude to interrupt.
One down. Once this is admitted, I will be certain to reject it.
I cannot let you take Meteion. Not yet.
Stand firm.
Oh.
Have a taste.
Is this a teleporter? Oh! Up. That's where we want to go. This is good. one grocery store about.
I
Oh,
see you
price.
opening.
Yeah. It'd be nice if healthy food wasn't so expensive.
Be gone!
It feels so much cheaper sometimes just to buy frozen stuff.
Have at you!
Not yet. Again. This is. Oh,
I must hear their answers before they're expunged from existence.
Mostly restaurants there. Yeah. To be fair, we have like we're a town. Last I heard, it was about 1,500 people. So it's a. I don't know if you can even call it a town, really, a village. I think we've got on the one main street we have, which is the village center. We've got what is it, like 8 takeaways. On your cousin, you need to try. Yep, you got to scout out what's local, find out what's good. Excuse me, I want that loot. Just
Have a
just
taste!
managed to. Cool.
Have a taste!
All right. How much further? That's. There he is. Hermes. Please. Winged Defiance.
So, it comes to this. I have no wish to fight, but this time, I cannot yield. Though the world may think me a mad, desperate fool, I will hold fast to my conviction.
Enemies. I've tried foe once, but not had an opportunity since.
I will have the time and tranquility I require.
Sorry, Hermes.
Gust and gale, gather to me! Ancient brand, unleash your power! Dancing winds, pierce my foes! Stars on high, fall as rain!
We're having ramen. I want ramen. Ramen is good. No substitute. I'm having those noodles. Yeah. Noodles are nice.
I'm not entirely useless.
Take a picture so you can have an idea.
Streams of ether!
Don't do this to me, Mooney. This is just running in a circle.
Have a taste!
Be gone! Dancing winds, pierce my foes!
I do not know what true bravery does, and I don't know if I want to find out.
I see you opening.
These Hermes.
Stars on high, all is rage! Even when transformed, but I am not finished yet.
Darn! Okay, that's not it. It's not an instant kill.
No! My power!
Hermes. Please.
It's over, Hermes. In the name of the Convocation, I hereby take Meteion into custody. And setting aside the matter of your nomination, you will come with us too. We require your knowledge to assess and resolve the situation.
Meteion, I am so sorry. Would that I could have listened to your report in full. Reflected upon its meaning and conveyed it to others. That they might reconsider their chosen course. But I have failed. And that wish will never be realized. However, ere our fates become the province of others, I bid you tell me just one thing. Was there happiness in those distant stars? Was there a reason for living?
We conducted our search as per your instructions.
Meteion?
We scoured historical records, communed with the spirits of the deceased,
She could do that much.
heard the final testaments of the dying, welcomed their shadowed hearts into our own. One race had striven to create a world bereft of animosity. They renounced relationships to avoid interpersonal strife, and in so doing brought about societal collapse. One race had renounced war and devoted itself to the enrichment of its people. They were conquered. Though they destroyed the enemy in reprisal, they could not regain their former glory. One race had concluded that finite time was the root of all woes. Aspiring to shatter its shackles, they went in search of infinity. They discovered nothing is infinite, and that neither time or death can be cheated. Disillusioned, they gave up on the future and themselves. One race had discarded all things that gave rise to sorrow, hoping to have only joy. They found joy lost its savor in the absence of sorrow, and lost their will to live. Though worlds apart, these peoples shared a belief. The belief that they had tried their best. That they had tried to fulfill their potential with every step and success. In the course of which, they learned the truth.
Meteion?
That they would never be free of fear and sorrow, anger and despair, of loneliness, so long as they yet lived. Even now their souls cry out for oblivion. And to this song of anguish, I lend my voice. We lend our voice. Oh, beloved mankind, shimmering jewels of beautiful Etheris, rejoice, for we will free you from the cruel yoke of existence. There is no need to struggle in vain, for in nihility awaits salvation. You will know peace and serenity, and it will be beautiful.
Meteion?
We will make our nest at the edge of the universe, and there in the dark of dead worlds hoard sorrow and suffering.
Jeez.
There we will sing, our chorus ever louder and ever clearer, that our song may reach even this ether-shrouded star. Such is the answer we have found in the stars. Such is the gift we now offer to Etheris.
Who are you to decide our fate? To decree we live or die?
Hermes?
Have you lost your mind? You heard what she said. She means to destroy us all, yet you'd still take her side?
In the name of the star, we have discarded those creations that we deemed flawed. If we ourselves are flawed, does it not stand to reason that we too should be discarded?
That is sophistry, and you know it!
Perhaps it is. Perhaps I am wrong. But who is to say that you are right? Let us settle this with a determination. In my authority as Chief Overseer of Elpis, I will make a judgment on man's fitness to exist. If he can learn to value all life and retain his will to live, even should his end be justified, he will surely find a way to avert his demise. If not, he will perish from the start. As with all determinations, provisions must be made to ensure fairness. Kairos! Awaken!
That's a memory.
Memory reconfiguration system Kairos activated. Awaiting instruction.
Can't afford to forget this.
Command. Universal memory alteration. Target area. Catesis Hyperborea. Starting point. Arrival of Selk of the convocation at Propylion. Endpoint. The present. Erase the memories of all events and replace with a vague recollection of the following. I was here, preparing to demonstrate the functionality of Kairos to Selk and Hydaelyn. Meteion's shared consciousness became unstable. She and her sisters could not sustain their existence, and all dissipated with a burst. The resultant shockwave accidentally triggered Kairos, which erased several days of memories from all present. Execute.
No.
Command acknowledged. Initializing. 3 processes remaining to execution.
You have to...
Bravo. I dare say one would be hard-pressed to make it fairer. Everything that you told us, everything that has happened, the fact we've even met, it will all be gone.
Couldn't change anything.
Go, Meteion. To the edge of the universe, where none can reach you.
Hermes, won't you come with me? If you were to shed your flesh, I should be able to carry you.
I will remain. As a man, I will oppose the oblivion you bring.
Yes.
Silly fool. Had you said yes, I would have granted you the gentlest end.
Venat!
This ends here!
die, Meteion!
She escapes it. Free.
That is far enough, Hermes!
Argos, to me!
Just have to trust him, Venat.
First process complete. 2 remaining to execution of memory reconfiguration.
That's
As if we needed more pressure.
running out of time.
No matter what, you cannot forget what happened today. For it is the key to saving your future. Your world.
What about your world?
This fight is our fight. What comes after, our problem to contend with.
But
Not yours.
I,
No. Your own struggle awaits. And no one else can take your place. You must flee this place with your memories intact. And I will see that you do. Now then, where is it?
where's
There you are, my little confluence.
Almost! Very well, then. You may elude us this day, but not forever.
Meteion's gotten away.
Second process complete. 1 remaining to execution.
enough time?
No time for brooding. Listen well. Beyond lies a spatial confluence that connects the interior sections of this building.
Right.
I will destroy the confluence and force open a way outside. When I do, you must jump through.
I cannot tell you how sorry I am. But neither can I let you escape!
And for this!
Too brave by half. Exemplary work, as always, Emmett Selk.
What? But how? I thought the confluence was... over...
Over there? Yes. We were rather hoping you would.
It was never anywhere but where it is now. The instant those two began making their way towards nothing, 'twas clear the plan was a diversion.
I'm quite incapable of destroying a confluence, I must confess.
A gambit brazen beyond words. Though we've grown accustomed to reckless improvision due to the antics of an incorrigible associate. Though, in the case of certain present company, incorrigible is an understatement. Honestly, I'm beginning to suspect it's a requirement for every Azen.
Of course it was over there. That was A little close.
There's no time! Quickly!
Right.
Even now, I do not believe your tale. I would not suffer us to walk such a wretched path. Still, if it must be said,
So,
do not squander it. The legacy I leave you.
wait.
Final process complete. Executing universal memory alteration.
Go, Argos!
So, Venat, are you okay?
I'm fine. Just a little tired. Can it be true? Are we the only ones left who see beauty in the world? In life? Are the stars above no more than husks of fallen civilizations? And yet, I feel her. Though she is unimaginably distant, I feel Meteion's presence, and the place where to we must go. Ere she made good her escape, I placed an enchantment upon her, one which allows us to follow her trail. She has already left the outermost bounds of Aetheris, and continues on her way. Given the vastness of the universe, it will still be no easy feat to track her down. But thanks to Emmet Selk and Hydaelyn, all is not lost. We remember. So long as we remember, our fates remain ours to shape.
There has to be something. Just have to find it.
What indeed? Let us begin by ascertaining the situation at Catesis Hyperborea, where the others should still be. Given the likely state of their memories, however, it would be imprudent for us to approach them directly. In which case... I am sorry, my friend. I've asked much of you this day. But may I trouble you one last time? Argos will investigate in our stead. We will share in his consciousness and see and hear as if we were with him.
Do that?
Now, close your eyes and open your mind.
Thank goodness you are unharmed.
Unharmed? There is a gaping hole in my memories. I can scarcely remember arriving here in Elpis.
Forgive me. I was preparing to demonstrate the functionality of Kairos to our guests. But Meteion, her shared consciousness became unstable. And she...
So, that's what prompted the state of alert. And when you went to investigate, you were caught in Kairos's accidental operation.
So it would seem. It's all a blur to me.
Such an unfortunate accident. Oh, and what of Venat and your other companion? You went inside together, as I recall.
We did?
If Venat was with us, I have no recollection of it. But that there is her familiar, is it not? The fellow seems happy enough, so I think it's safe to assume his mistress as well. I haven't the slightest notion who this other companion might be, however.
Ah, well, that individual struck me as a bit different, for want of a better word. Perhaps it wasn't actually a person, but some manner of creation.
Yeah, I think it was always kind of it's a look. It was always a condition that the Warrior of Light goes back. The timeline would only be destabilized if you didn't.
Curious. I must ask Venat about it when next we meet.
I think as well, Elidibus makes it clear that kind of, regardless of what you do, you cannot change the present by manipulating the past. You might speak and interact with the people here, but whatever you do, the past you come from is established.
Yes, you do that. Now, if we may tend to Hermes, whatever this Meteion did, it seems he bore the brunt of it.
I think it probably uses like Avengers Endgame time travel logic.
Once you are fit to travel, you will return with us to Amarot. We need to make certain there are no other ill effects. Also, I am here on business of the 14. We've already had the conversation, like as not, but since your toy wiped my memory, we'll have to have it again.
Yes, of course. As you see fit.
This Kairos, it manipulates memories through the emission of etheric waves, correct? There is a theory which holds that memories scoured by blasts of ether are restored when the soul is cleansed in the underworld. If true, then perhaps when our time comes to return to the star, we shall remember these few days we have lost.
I doubt aught of interest occurred. Look forward to the revelation if you like, but I should prefer to reminisce on more meaningful moments.
Really don't.
Let us rest. If only for a while. After all, you and I... Oh, we still have a long, long way to go.
Are you feeling at all recovered? I understand that your exertions were more than purely physical. But resting one's body, if only for a moment, is never without merit. As for Hermes, I think it unlikely he will create more Endwalkers. He poured much of himself into Meteion. Now that she and her sisters are gone, dissipated, in his mind, the grief must be unbearable. He will blame himself. He will believe that he never acknowledged his dissatisfaction with the world. Then the Meteor would have never been born to suffer and die. The offer to join the 14 will be a welcome distraction. One day hence, He will face the advent of the final days in the role of Van Daniel. That's how it sounds. Thou must live, I and know. Sorin, listen to me. Our duty now is not to denounce Hermes for his misguided determination, or to convince Emet-Selch and Hydaelyn that they have been deceived. No, we must instead ensure that the experiences Hermes sought to expunge are preserved. What remains in our memories alone will be our weapon against the final days. You must fight this battle in your age, and I in mine. Come, let us walk together once more. I will see you to the doors of Pleon. Unfortunately, I do not have the fly ability. Really hoping we get to go home early. At least you can chill for a bit. I mean, if you're looking for something to do, Minnie, have you looked at the RPs? No pressure. Just suggesting that if you're bored. It's one of the things I think I'll be looking forward to more, and hopefully I'll be able to start posting more regularly. Now that I'm kind of removing games as a distraction for me. It'd be nice if you get to go home early. I'm assuming it's just your customers are maybe getting an extra day off thinking about work because of the holiday. Oh, is that someone just arriving? Venat, your time in this age is drawing to an end. On speaking to several cutscenes. Okay. I think this is probably going to be the end of the stream. Is these cutscenes?
So, it is within. The portal that brought you hither, and will take you home.
Is this... Why? Are you sure there's nothing I can do on this end to help?
I appreciate your sentiment. I truly do. But 'tis a very long game that we must now play. And while you have maintained a stable presence here thus far, there are dangers in lingering over long.
I suppose I'm only being sustained like this because of Emet-Selch's magic.
No. You must return to your own battlefield. Make use of the knowledge you have attained, that your days here and our friend's sacrifice be not in vain. With Meteion free to pursue her designs, 'tis only a matter of time until the final days are upon us. We must be ready. From fortifying our defenses to securing our escape, there is much to be done. In spite of this, we cannot allow the report that set this calamity in motion to become common knowledge. Were the masses to learn the fates of the other stars, I fear the situation would spiral out of our control. I must carefully consider who can be trusted and bring them into the fold. Ordinarily, I wouldn't hesitate to call upon the 14. However, it was the desire for a fair determination that drove Hermes to attempt to erase our memories. And were he made aware of his actions, there is no telling whether he would remain a friend or become a foe. Alternately, we might try to alienate him from the convocation. Yet in doing so, we would deprive ourselves of a brilliant mind who would be invaluable in the crises to come. Quite the dilemma. Which is why I must work independently of the convocation. Regardless of how we proceed, if we are to permanently avert the final days, we must be equal to Hermes' challenge. We must prove that mankind is worthy to exist. And this hinges, I think, on how we confront the all-consuming despair that accompanies a senseless and seemingly inevitable end. Bewildered and divided, we would perish like the peoples of those celestial ruins. We could not hope to survive the final days, much less take the battle to Meteion at her nest. We must find a way to defeat despair, to unite and prepare as many as possible for the struggle ahead.
Right.
Heavy will weigh the burden of guiding this legion of souls. Yet I have faith in mankind's potential. As long as he believes in himself, there is naught he cannot achieve. So I will not give up on him. You may find your world to be very different. Or perhaps the erasure of our friends' memories has sown the seeds of a conjunction between us. We cannot know until the moment is at hand. So shall I strive to do my best, taking naught for granted as I walk my path.
I don't know. Oh, did she not mention a conjunction?
And I pray you walk with me to the end. As you move forward, so too will I. As will all, resolved to fight for the morrow. And when mankind has found the strength to stand against despair, we shall silence the song of oblivion. She who sings it will learn our journey is far from over. This I promise. Fare you well, my light of the future, till we meet again.
We will meet again. I'm still there. Yep, talk from Crystal. Yep. Yes. Home.
From this day forth, I shall strive to bring honor to the seat of Vandana.
What is... That's... Venat?
Even now, I remember standing there, locked in a moment where the sky is aflame. Where stars fall as tears, and screams darken the seas. Where resignation rots the trees. Where terror twists magics into abominations. Such is the lament of they who have gone before. The song of they who tried and failed to create a better world. The song of the end. That which hides at the edge of the universe is no longer hope's creation. It is hopelessness incarnate. That day, mankind saw half of its number sacrificed to bring forth Zodiark. And covering the star in a shroud of ether, we forestalled the final days. Yet the cries echoed still. We wept for innocence lost, wailed for death inevitable. A reality too terrible to bear. And for too many who sought comfort in gilded memories of joyful days and tranquil nights.
This is all wrong! Why must we suffer so?
It needn't be like this. No. There must be a way to restore things to the way they were. To reclaim the perfect paradise we once had.
No, my friends. Suffering exists, and we cannot pretend otherwise. No civilization, however great, could eliminate it. If we would live, we must accept it as our constant companion. Let us not seek to forget this tragedy. Let us carry it in our hearts, that we may grow stronger and know true happiness.
We can't accept it! We won't accept it! It will be ours again! A world free of sorrow!
No, it will not. For there has ever been sorrow. Mankind was but spared its biting sting for a time. So please, open your eyes. To try and reclaim those lives we lost by sacrificing yet more isn't wisdom. It is weakness. No paradise is without its shadows. If we cannot accept this truth and learn from our pain, then our plight shall be repeated.
O mighty Zodiark! God, born of our boundless faith, we bid you, hear our prayer. Accept this offering of lives, and deliver unto us the lives we once had. Deliver unto us the days of old, the days when the star was a font of love, and we knew naught but bliss.
You would destroy it? Our beautiful world?
Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all, a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning and my purpose. My love. In spite of, or perhaps because of this, I choose to believe in mankind's potential. In his ability to find a way forward. So let there be no way back. From that temptation, I sunder us. No more shall man have wings to bear him to paradise. Henceforth, he shall walk. All is excruciating pain. I breathe fire and torment. I birth a world of suffering to mire and plague. In one fleeting moment, lives come and go, ever moving towards the unknown. And in that fleeting moment, they cry for the answer to the question. Why, given life, are they meant to suffer, to die? As fragmented, imperfect beings, yours is a never-ending quest. A quest to find your purpose, knowing your end is assured. To find the strength to continue when all strength has left you. To find joy, even as darkness descends. And amidst deepest despair, light everlasting. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Crystal Tower. Need to know. Yeah. Or I feel it's possibly more likely from the moment. I suppose it depends if for characters created after like 2.0 anyway. I imagine it's possibly more that kind of she's watching from where your story kind of begins. Because I don't get the feeling that you kind of told Hydaelyn, well, Venat, that when, like, you know, you don't go back to, oh, I was, let me talk about my childhood. I imagine you probably talk about your story from your, yeah, the moment Hydaelyn first speaks to you. But yeah, that whole cutscene is one of my favorite parts of Endwalker. Just that line. No more shall man have wings to bear him to paradise. Henceforth he shall walk. It's one of the few lines that I feel definitely doesn't hit the same in, at least to me, in the Japanese audio. On the whole, I prefer the Japanese version, like Japanese audio for Final Fantasy XIV, but there are some moments that definitely do really well in English. Is anyone here? How long have I been gone? Who's... Trial? Tataru? Sorin? Impeccable timing as always. I'd heard you were often the first as part of our efforts to investigate the final days. Oh, as so often seems to be the case. While you're away, we've had some few developments, which we can discuss in just a moment. For now, however, I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to have you back. I've got a lot to... Rooney, give me an opinion. With 20 minutes left, is this a good you feel this is a good chapter, a good bookmark location, do you think? Because I kind of wanted to go on a little bit more, but I also feel that this is a place where it makes sense to leave the stream. So I've just noticed, I've had the I don't know if it's called a widget, but a little pop out, kind of keep an eye on to drop frames and the reasons for them. Which, fortunately, what I have done seems to have worked for avoiding drop frames, which I'm very glad for such a cutscene heavy stream. I also noticed it tells me the total data, the total like file size of my stream, like I've been broadcasting 7 gigabytes. At the moment. And 292,733 frames so far. I'm feeling I kind of want to finish the stream here. I kind of want to carry on, but I also feel if I carry on, I'll want to keep carrying on. I don't think I can go too late, because I do still need to have dinner at some point tonight. So, yeah, I think I'll call it there. Of course, Nam would be on that side of things. But yeah, I feel that's somewhere that it makes sense to pause for a bit in the story. So that's it for this week of streams, I suppose. So I will be back. I'll be back Monday. I'll hopefully remember to actually post my schedule next week, because I forgot this week. I have the schedule sitting here in a folder. I made it, I just forgot to upload it. But yeah, next week will be probably the same. So streams on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And it's gonna probably all be Final Fantasy XIV. I don't have any reason for it not to be Final Fantasy XIV. So I'm going to assume that that's what I'm going with. Continuing Sorin's journey. I'm starting to doubt that I probably won't finish next week. But definitely the week after. We're getting pretty close to the end of Endwalker. And once that's finished, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from Final Fantasy XIV for maybe a couple of months, I'm feeling. To let me kind of work through my backlog of stream games. Because I do have quite a few, and Final Fantasy XIV is definitely a big one on my list. But I do plan to play through with Sorin. Get to Dawn Trail, and through that, there'll probably be I imagine there'll be... I suppose it depends. Depends just how long it takes me to get through the post-Endwalker content. To see how... whether I get caught up with Dawn Trail before the first major patch. But with all that said, I'm finishing up for today. Think you'll start Dawn Trail soon for Seri? I'll have to... That'll be something... Some streams I'll have to avoid for a bit, I think. Don't want any spoils for myself. I don't know how much I'll get to see of Dawn Trail before I get Sorin to that point. With how things are. But yeah. So that's me for today. I'll be back on Monday. And we'll continue Sorin's journey. So, until then, thank you so much for coming along. I really hope you enjoyed. And until the next time I see you, have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye.